Gosh, it's been quite a while since I've been here. Where do we begin? Um, suppose this is just I guess, a recorded episode of a day in the Kins, in a day in the mind of Kins. Of course, I know that I am, um, I'm streaming this, to the wide expanse of the internet from the safety of my own home, from the leisure of my own private domicile. I am in the midst of um not having anyone to talk to. Not that I'm lonely, it's just I don't have anyone in the moment to talk to. Um, when it comes to like deep and uh, yes, speculative and introspective. Um, I well, I guess I like to talk. Not that I talk to myself. Well, I do talk to myself, but I guess for now I'm going to be here as if I am talking to someone and that someone is me. The imaginative version of someone like me to sit and contemplate the wild and wonderful journey of life as it is. And I guess we could start by talking about what this place is all about. Actually, this is a place for me that I found refuge, and it was the first time that I've ever. Oh well, this atmosphere specifically is the first few atmospheres that I found some sort of relaxation. It was rather magical when I was first brought here by my ex, in which, you know, if they might be um here and listening to this, I'm having this recorded so I could look back at this in the future. But um here is the environment where I spoke to someone that had very huge depth to their character, to how their mind operates. Of course, I don't miss the person. I miss what they had. This depth, this introspectiveness, this openness to divulge what's going on in their heads. Oh, perhaps to be better if I do this because I do have full body. Um, screen. Oops. This is I guess, I don't have that person anymore where I could be rather introspective of things. It's mostly just an echo chamber of me and I in the world. I mean, I have a Google Doc that helps me keep track of the things that I think about. I mean, I don't really have the time nor I don't give too much effort into trying to put effort into it. I always thought of it as an afterthought. Really, never my priority is never the first that I think of completing. I only come to it when I have the time, I have the clarity, I have the time to ever really write my thoughts. I guess this space, this moment where I can search myself, look into myself, and pour the thoughts that I have currently might be out of frustration or something that bothers me, or just anything in general. If it makes me want to talk about it, then I know but I don't have anyone else to talk about it with, and I don't and frankly I don't really trust a lot of people to be able to, you know, to receive me in this way. Not that I see myself as like, how do you say this, lonely, or what do you call it, I'm a more, I don't want to disturb people. A lot of Everyone has their own gripes with life, struggles with life, and who am I um to step into their lives and ask them, hey, would you like to talk, man? It's something that's on my mind, and they'll always think like, oh, it's must be something important. But no, probably just thinking about relationships, or something, life, or something deep. And usually, people like to do this thing called escapism, where they just, I guess, shut off their brain. They play games. They try to forget about it, but they really can't. I on the other hand, I embrace the I embrace the thought of adversity at hand. The large escape room to ponder and experience life. Um, it's part of our life as it is. It's a part of the journey of living a life. You have to be, I guess, how do I call it? Open to the possibility of talking and thinking about this. You need to be honest about yourself when it comes to this. You know, this place is deeply creative. I think I come here because the mind that created this is a very creative one, and I can tell that they put a lot of effort just for us to enjoy the small gifts of imagination and creativeness poured out onto a VR chat world. I guess I like to sit and stare. Sometimes I read. This is Russian, Soviet era. Um, that time of life, that part of time, I never was born into it. I never really got to experience. Oh, this is a new room. I haven't been in here, or I guess I really explored this place too much. That that time of I was born around 2005, and I never really got to see, these things. I mean, when I that's strange. When I was born into the world, I never really got to experience the fall of Russia. I never got to see it. In the Soviet Union, never really got to see it prosper either. So, it's whatever. Man, do these places get a little bit creepy. Only ever so slightly. Ah, well. I don't feel very comfortable going there. So, I'm wimping out. Ciao. I like this place. I, to be honest, I don't really take many people here. Maybe I've allowed maybe 5 people here, but that's like in the span of it's in a public lobby. I realized in a public lobby and I saw first. Gosh, I got this. I got scared for a second there. Привет. Hi. I never I forgot. I didn't realize that I was in a public. I was a bit surprised that I saw someone here. I thought I was alone with my thoughts, but I guess not.
Ты понимаешь по-русски?
Нет по-русски.
Или-
No по-английски. Well, I guess I'm in a public lobby, so I'm gonna bounce out of here and go to a private one. Gosh, I got really spooked for some reason. Like, oh, I went crazy. Oops, I can't play that. It's going to get me kicked out of Twitch. Oh, can't play my own music. It's a bit sad. Here we are again. We're gonna try to speedrun this. I don't know, where was I? Oh yeah, I went out of that room. I only took a couple people here and blah blah blah. Perhaps it'd be best to start a new conversation topic. Let's see. I'm not. Um. Life is a very wild experience. For those people that have lived for as long as I have, and maybe even longer, life is a very interesting spectacle of ups and downs. Um, and often we forget to just slow down. I guess we often forget to experience life the way that it should be and to slow down sometimes. Not every waking moment is somewhere that you should be like panicking and worrying about the things that you already have. I mean, yes, you have responsibilities and you ought to take care of them. Excuse me, like look for something. Um, it doesn't mean that you should keep the make your life all about that. Make it all about I am dying for some reason. Make it all about stress, your job, suffering, whatever. It's not supposed to be like that. Um, it's supposed to be enjoyed, I guess. It's supposed to be. Um, why am I lagging? Oh, I think that should help. I don't know who's in my stream, by the way. I don't know who's in my Twitch channel, whatever. I don't know. I don't I kind of don't care, being honest. Um for those who are I guess tuned in to my ramblings, I hope you have a nice time, I guess. I don't there's no title, there's no hashtags or there's not much things on my Twitch. It's just, hey, I'm streaming randomly. First time that I'm ever streaming, and I guess this is the first time that I am allowing myself to be um vacant to people in the wide world world wide web. Usually not predisposed like this. This is the first time that I've ever opened up to myself to the to the online world. I mean, it's kind of strange, really. The fact that you're able to connect and meet people that are so far away from you, and yet for some whatever reason you're able um, to feel as if to connect with them as if you've been real friends and you've been with them for years in your life. And when you die ultimately, like when you're in your deathbed, you might remember them. You might think about, like, I don't know, Jonathan 223 or Pussy Destroyer 5000. You gotta remember that time that they made fun of you or something. They sent a really funny meme, and you're gonna be in your deathbed laughing your butt off because you remember that. You know these people, I guess. And that's kind of really nice, I guess. Just wanted to make sure that that can't be seen in the menu that I have. The person thing. Oh my goodness. You're at it, aren't you? Looking for those mods. Well, I still remember taking my ex. My ex taking me here and then exploring. I remember taking a picture with them here. Do I remember? Do I miss them? No, not really. They're in a happy relationship now. Um, but something that I will always yearn for is the the deepness of their character, the way that they were to look into themselves and introspect and see the world around them. I thought that was really nice, actually, about her. The way we're able to talk very like for hours and hours about something deep. And I guess I always wanted someone to be able to do that with me, I guess. It sounds nice, to be honest. Someone that you could just slow down with to shift gears instead of just stressing out about your life. You're able to just sit down and talk like human beings. We're you know, never going to um well, I'm not going to be able to find that now. I don't have one to speak of, but eventually when I do, it would be nice. It would be a lovely experience, a nice time to be alive, I suppose. So, I mean, in general, relationships are pretty nice. Thinking about it, I mean, gosh, you're able to rely on someone. If you trust the person, usually you're with someone because you trust them, right? And then you love them, and it's really nice to think about. I guess. Oh, there's actually a road there. Cool. Never explored this side. Um, it's nice to have the afterthought of someone, that to think that someone out there like romantically loves you. You know, that you're you're very important to them. So of course, you're gonna be important to someone else, but like your mom or dad or whatever. But like on a more romantic sense, it's nice to have a partner like them. I have actually never been here. Oh, this is cool. Oh, this is a nice spot, isn't it? Yeah. You know, I've never really, um, I've never really thought about it too much, I guess. But being single for a long time, um, makes you yeah, no, it makes you yearn for a relationship. It makes you yearn in very certain ways where you find someone that you fancy. Like I personally like the intellectual types. I like the introverts. I like the mature types. I guess with my dating history, I guess that tracks. I mean, sometimes I could settle for uh deeply flawed people. Like I could definitely settle down for them. No problem. Problem is, if it goes for any longer, probably not. Probably we won't stay for too long. They were like that. But moving on though. The weird thing about yearning, um, the weird thing about it is, once you find the person that you actually fancy, you're like awestruck. You're like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is the person, and it makes you one. It makes you like really want to get them more. I guess in my position, I also like the mysterious type. So my like woe to me that I like the mysterious ones. Like it makes me want to figure them out more, piece by piece, take notes, whatever, and um, at the end of it, hopefully, I have achieved um a autobiography of them, and that's when I decide if ever they're good for me. And usually it's really easy to do that. You could really easily pick with how observant I am. I can easily pick out someone that I can be with for a long time, and the ones that I can't be with for a long time. um there's an exit. I never knew that there was an exit. um and I guess I've been infatuated multiple times. I mean, most recently, I guess, there's this girl. I think I have no chances with. I genuinely think that they're too good for me. Like they're way too smart for me. They're too um how do I say? They're too mature, and that's not in a bad way. I just think that it would be hard. I think if I was to get into a relationship with them, um I think that they would think of me as a child being taken care of by this old lady. That's why I haven't been trying to push it too much. I don't want to be here, admittedly. No, screw that, essentially. Um, where, cry about it. But, it's really nice. Um, I guess I could talk about her a little bit more. She's a very there's a lot of depth to her, and there's a lot of things that I fancy about her, like about her. I don't think that I love them necessarily. I think I'm just deeply infatuated with the thought of them, and like I guess it's nice to have this infatuation. It's really lovely, I think, to have an infatuation like the one I do. It reminds me that despite how like reserved I can be, I'm still open to the woes of being swayed by a woman that catches my attention. And I think that's lovely. As much as it is deeply tragic that I would have to do this over and over and over again until I find the quote unquote right one, in which there is no right one. Believe it or not, there is simply just someone that uh, that you really fancy, and you choose, and the both of you choose to be with them for the next couple of years, and eventually it's an eventuality that you may marry them. So there's that. I don't believe in I don't believe that there is someone that's engineered in the way that is perfect. I think that's asking too much. I think that's being selfish. I darn it, it's not a teleport. I think that's asking too much of our benevolent God. It's a bit selfish to ask them of perfect when nobody is perfect except God, and in which is deeply dramatic. Like, how do I say it? I think this person that I am infatuated with is, I think they're not looking for what I'm looking for. Not at the moment. I can't. I shouldn't burden them with the idea of a relationship. No, not yet. No, I think they. I'd. I think it should come naturally. They've already made it aware. Not that they've told me personally, but I can I guess there needs to be some tact when it comes to practicing relationships, and you need to be tactful when should you talk about what the need to be tact about when you approach someone in that way, I guess. And I guess with the tactfulness I have, I've come to realize that they need some uh they need work on themselves. They need a lot of them. They need a lot of self care before they try to think about anything like that. Of course, um, we both are yearning for the same thing. We're yearning for a relationship. Um, who is this person in my stream? They need to die. Ah, I can't see who's in my stream. Oh, it's rather tragic. How do I check if there's people here? Oh wow. It's a mod view? That's crazy. Yeah, whatever. Not looking for anyone to look at my streams, believe it or not. How do I see who's here? Darn it. Oh, what a tragedy. I can't even see who's here. Uh, moving on, I guess. Not sure if you're here. I don't know where to go. Well, I guess I have to brave my fears. Eh, give me a second. Pa pa pa. Um, I don't see who's here. I don't know who's here. Ah, well, I give up. They're I guess that person in particular, um, I'm infatuated by the idea of them, the thought of them. It's because they're very mysterious. There's not much for me to tell other than what they tell me, and it's been a back and forth of like information this, information that, and I guess yes, it's a bit of a struggle, but at the end of the day, it's all right. It's whatever. Where did this go? Curious question. Wow, nowhere. Somewhere now. Go somewhere, chat. Look at that. Oh, this is not somewhere I've been. I feel like I'm a bit alone here. But it's nice, I guess. Somewhere, alright? Somewhere nice. They're um, deeply, mysterious person, and it is the reason why, I guess, one of the reasons why I'm infatuated is because of that. I want to figure this person out there. What they're like, so on and so forth, so on and so forth. What makes their clock tick, I guess. Yes, I guess it's a little bit creepy, of course, but I guess it's the profound nature of curiosity. Just curious to who they are, who they want to be, and what led them to be who they are now. I guess I simply wish to understand to some extent. And to a more deeper level, I guess. I would want to know them. Is that it? They're like very confusing rooms, to be honest. Don't know where I'm going. I'm somewhere, but I'm somewhere where I'm not. I'm not sure if it ends here or it's supposed to go somewhere. Beep, 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 beep. Just Dark Road. Me and the world. Some goes deeper. Oh, such is life, a very curious endeavor, deeply quiet and emotional. How lovely it is. Oh, I remember this place. Another place where I took a picture of my ex. I know I talk a lot about my ex, but I still have those pictures, I think, where I deeply admired my ex. And they were a lovely person. Just not for me, I guess. And that's fine. Totally fine. It's fine to see people like that and understand that sometimes not everything is for us, I suppose. People change, I guess. People change very rapidly, and you're supposed to change. But the question is, how the question is ultimately, does the person does the person in which who I am to become in the future still want to be still am I still compatible to the person I am with? And usually the answer is no. Usually people have a falling out. People change, their feelings change, and usually a lot of what love is to people is exactly that. It changed. And tragic as it sounds, it's absolutely fine to be it that way. Because that is life and that is how it is. It is life. Life is all about change. Constant change. And if you stall, if you don't change, there is something wrong with the way you live. You cannot be complacent in a world in which the time keeps ticking. There needs to be a change. Eventually. Eventually, there needs to be this time where you talk to yourself and confront yourself that, hey, this is not the person I would want to be. This is not the person I would like to become. And in which I have changed. I have changed for people, I've changed for myself, and I've ultimately changed for my environment. The hardest question that you would have to ask yourself is the change that I am going through to my best interest? Or is it a mere um, trend? Just because people change for the worse, does that mean that you should change for the worse also? No, of course not. You should always try to change for the best, or the best that you see best as long as it serves your interests at heart. I mean, it's a bit selfish to say that, but ultimately that is what life is. Personal change, personal sacrifice, personal journeys. And not everyone is going to be with you when it comes to that. It's usually just yourself. And when someone approaches you and, I guess, talk about themselves, it's usually that. The question, usually, when I say that, usually what it is you are your own story. You are the one that writes the story. Of course, there is God, but there is this wonderful thing and tragic thing called free will. In the light of the change that we must undergo, the question becomes, how does the things that we ought to be changing to how can we trust that it is for us? Of course, in the moment, we are flawed human beings, and it takes a lot of honesty and introspection to really gauge what serves for our best interest, and in which I cannot trust myself. Admittedly, I cannot trust myself about the change that I would want to be. You know, I want to change because of these things called trends, and I guess what and the things that shape my environment. I guess if you were in a room that's slowly closing in on you, you would want to become the most thinnest, to be the most flexible, and to be the most indestructible. And when usually the reason why I say we're fallible is because in that circumstance, it is not to become thinner, it's not to become smaller, it's to try to escape the room that you're in. It's thinking outside of the box. That's why you need a lot of introspection, a lot of wisdom, and you cannot, as a fallible human being, you can't trust yourself with that decision alone. There must be something outside of this world that must point us back to where we ought to be. And sometimes it's simply that. It's it's like it's God. He's the one. I would think that he is the one that helps us on the right path. Because I cannot trust myself. You can't trust wholly your loved ones, because at the end of the day, they're always trying. They're trying their best to um I don't know how to call it. They're always working in their own self-interest in some matter, and they're fallible. Can't always trust that. Guess I'm gonna end it here now. I've spoken to myself for an hour, and I think that's enough talking to myself. Back to doing the things that I usually do, and that being not talking to myself. Still rather interesting that in the end of it all, there is always this life to look forward to, I guess. And here we are. Goodbye for those who are still here. I will be departing now.